Okay, so we're opening with ugly leather pants. So everybody gathers around Sutton and she's crying. I didn't handle that well. No, hun, you didn't. Oh, God, that was good, Sutton. You know that was wrong with me. I think they were pleather. That was good. So Garcelle go over to talk to Crystal, and she's like, yeah, the word violele threw everybody for a loop. Erica told her you can't egg her on, and she right. Oh, now Sutton, you can apologize for the pants, but don't say you think they cute. Those are trash bags on stilts. Kathy Hilton, I think the pants are darling. Kathy is a hoot. So we sitting down and Sutton gets to the root. Crystal, why are you constantly mean? You just always have something nasty to say and you don't know them well enough yet. So you're coming off as a mean girl right now. Like you got the woman in tears. Like stop kicking her while she's down. It's like, well, if you don't want to be friends with the ladies, then maybe you shouldn't be here. She is not, now Crystal, you gaslighting this heifer. She's not asking you to apologize for something that she did. She's asking you to apologize for using a word that has a connotation that has nothing to do with what happened. Okay, she's an inappropriate, awkward person, and Crystal, you're just evil. And you're willfully obtuse. You know exactly what violation meant, and you're saying it with your little... You know exactly what it means. How are you gonna tell her to leave somebody else's house? And also, none of the girls are standing up for Sutton. Well, if she's so obnoxious, then why don't you leave, Crystal? Because honestly, I'm sick of you. You throwing a rock and hiding your hand big time. See, here's the thing. Crystal's, I'm not taking that back. I'm not taking this back. Okay. God, Crystal, you are just really unpleasant. And I don't like how none of the other women are standing up to you. Because I'm like, excuse me, this is my house. What we're not going to do in my on this land, you can get to stepping. And also, if you're not intelligent enough to understand that the word violate has a different connotation, then we don't need to have a conversation. Lord, so now half the casting got the vi. So we come back with the embezzle plotline. December 2nd, 2020. Oh, Erica, you and this bad acting. What people are saying, I mean, that my divorce is a sham. That's the only reason you left was because of the money to protect your sad little assets. But ha! You're getting sued too. Well, sweetie, we're saying it's a sham because of the lawsuits, the multiple lawsuits, the missing money. There was a whole documentary, and the timing of it is just a little too odd. The lawsuits have been going on for a while. It really does look like a cut and run. You can't see that yourself? Are you also, like Crystal, willfully obtuse? Erica, it's very easy to see why you're named in the lawsuit because your company got $20 million from your husband. That's how. I mean, I saw it in black and white. It's in the lawsuit. You can read it yourself. You don't know. Heifer, you know. He hasn't given you one dime since you walked out the door because he said he was broke as a he-hank at the deposeze. He said he has nothing but dick and bubble gum for you. So after quarantine, Rena drops by Erica's. Oh, God, Crystal's coming? Why? But across town, Garcelle drops by Kyle's. I'd like to see those two get along. Oh, we're doing a girls' trip to La Quinta. Well, Erica, don't you feel bad for the people that Tom ripped off, and don't you realize I was living off that money? I'm gonna need a little mea culpa here. Garcelle does have a point. Husbands can have secrets that wives don't know about, but I guess she thought he was rich. Erica said, please look at your bank accounts. Crystal, how do you not know every detail of your financial situation as bossy and mean as you are? I'm sorry, I'd have to know. You're going to have to let me. I want to know what's coming in, what's owed in taxes. I need to know everything. We had a whole scene about Rena and her old dresses. Y'all could have kept that. I'd rather watch Kathy howl at her dogs. Kathy Hilton, are these Halloween wreaths or Christmas wreaths? Because them babies is scary. And after a boring scene with Kyle, we've got Rena dropping by Sutton's. Oh, they really went heavy with these kid segments. But Sutton was like, I don't know if I want my kid hanging around Renna's kids. Renna's kids is fast. Erica's acting is almost getting tolerable as she confesses to Kyle how she's overwhelmed with debt. Erica has a story to tell, but it's not the right time. Okay, she already getting ready to put a spin on it. Erica, it was some okay acting, but I ain't buying it. And again, no sympathy for the people that really got robbed. None of that. You care about him melting? What about the people that he melted? What about the futures he stole? The lives he ruined? What about that? And now let's get back to Tyler's Terrible Television with a TAS. TAS. So the girls pull Andy back into the makeup room and they're like, let's talk about some of this controlling stuff that Gary's pulling. And then, of course, the preacher man got to show up with the marriage license. Fatima the Stallion says, look, I'm Bennett, I ain't in it, so I'm gonna let y'all ponderoro. Now, Karen is truly over Zach and his antics. However, the Braxton hybrid said, look, Andy is gonna do whatever she wants to do, so we just gotta stand and support. Let her be idiot on her own. And Andy says, well, you know, this isn't controlling because on the first date with him, I told him I wanted a surprise wedding and I described this whole scene and that's exactly what he gave me. So this is really what I wanted. This is my dream, not his dream. And Andy said, well, what about that bruised rib, the crazy wife, the kids you ain't met? That's your dream too? Heffaboo? So Karen's like, look, I can't watch you do this, so I'm gonna have to go. But you can't leave, you're my best friend. And a best friend will not support this kind of foolishness. You don't see the Gary that I see. No, we see Gary. We see Gary for his works and his deeds. It's you, dear, who don't see. But don't worry, a hard head makes for a soft butt. Ask the blonde from The Blonde and the Butt. So Karen go on and leave, and she tell the preacher man don't follow her, and she tell Gary she don't like him. Gary don't care. Gary's a narcissist and a sociopath. But out in the parking lot, she run into Fatima the Stallion, and Fatima tell her, look, I did not know Zach was your ex, and the second he started talking about his ex, I told him to shut up. So he was talking about you every 10 minutes. I got sick of it. And she's like, I know he your ex, but I still can't shake him. But we should go on in and support Andy in her mistake. Karen says bump that and drive off. However, across town at the Sissy Bar, our token white character is getting the big bone sissy a drink. And the big bone sissy asks the honky, do you know where that stripper thief is? I need his low KK to kick his AA. But then, of course, Panty Man show up at the Sissy Bar. What did I tell you? What did I tell you? When his idea of cutting loose is getting out to the Sissy Bar to get that prostate tickled. I mean, you're heterosexual, right? What women are you finding at this bar? What women? What women? But he actually has brought his own woman. However, Peggy be telling the business because she said, oh, well, we haven't tried two guys together yet, even though we have been hooking up regularly. So who's pegging who? Meanwhile, across town, Zach drops by the Braxton Hybrids and Rodeo invites him in for a meal. He asks Rodeo about the stock tip and he says, well, you should vet it. However, at Karen's salon, she hears moaning coming from the closet. I hope it's the pastor fucking her assistant because it would serve her right. But instead, it's the assistant with the random. Karen tells her assistant there is no sex in this sham-pale salon. However, she shoos her assistant away so she can secretly call Thackeray from the salon phone because he still got her blocked. See, that's the thing. If you blocked, maybe you should just stay blocked. However, Rodeo gets Zach to answer the phone even though he knows it's Karen and her bull and she wants to talk. He needs to come by to talk. For what? What do you two have to discuss? How to hurt each other further? I'm sorry, after the theft accusations, we're done. Back at the Sissy Bar, the thief shows up and the big bone sissy saunters over and knocks his ass out. Not out, at. Kind of like how Calvin, but he was, the gay one did it less gay. He had less of a flail. There was no squeal. No nay or whitter. Back at the photo shoot slash surprise wedding, Gary and the preacher man talking, and the preacher man said him and Karen ain't really dating right now. She's fucking Zach. You're a memory. You were a stopover, and you didn't even get no pussy for your trouble. You just wasted a whole bunch of time, energy, and effort, and then got your wife killed. That's what you did. You're what I call a useless ass. However, Andy is in the makeup chair, and she's like, I do want to get married. I just can't get up, but yeah, I do. I do want to marry him. They get her up and they like, okay, come on. If you're going to do this, let's get this over with. That Braxton Hybrid won her $500 for putting on this dress. But as she walks towards the door, she finally says, no, I don't want to marry him. Well, you never really did. I don't know why you was going after somebody else's husband. That's problem one. So we ended where she getting ready to go out and tell Gary it's time to give him the heave-ho so she can find a new loser who'll ruin her life in different and interesting ways. Well, that was the shit. And I'ma see you soon for something.